Brett Okamoto with the aspiring mom champ, as she calls herself, Michelle Waterson, who just picked up a big win against Karolina Kowalkiewicz at UFC Fight Night. Did not get the finish, but that was a very dominant performance, 30-27 on all three judges' scorecards. You seem to be on an absolute roll now. What's different? You've always been a successful fighter, but it seems like something was different tonight.
I think just that belief in myself and my abilities, just going in there and just saying, just go. You know, we all have these fears in our minds, and it's, I don't know, there's this quote that I read quite a bit, and it's, you know, but what if I fall? And then the answer is, but what if you fly? You know, you just got to go. You just got to go out there and put it out there. And this sport isn't forever, so I got to enjoy it while I can.
Why do you think it took you a while to come to that conclusion? Because it's not as if you've ever really struggled. You were a champion in Invicta. Why did it take some time?
I don't know. I think sometimes that we can be just as afraid of the success as we are of the failure, you know, and that's just me being honest. It's really scary putting yourself on that platform, and I kind of was just like, whatever, go, just do it, you know.
Well, coming in and facing a really game opponent, really talented opponent in Karolina, what was the game plan? What advantages did you see going in?
Yeah, man, Karolina is a high-volume forward pressure fighter with a good clinch game, and our game plan was to stop her in her tracks, stop her momentum. If we could slow her momentum down, then she's going to be a little bit more hesitant coming in. I'll be able to pick my shots a little better. I did want to secure a submission. I thought it would be a little bit easier to take her down, and props to her for shutting down some of my takedowns. But the good thing on my end is I didn't stay married to those. You know, it was a hope of mine to be able to get some good takedowns and get some submissions off, but they weren't landing, so I just ditched them and went forward with what was working.
I mean, I think it was fascinating to myself, and I know it was fascinating to others, just the relationship that you and Karolina seem to have despite not really knowing each other, correct? You said that you feel like she's your sister, but you don't really know. Can you explain this to me? How does that work? I
don't know. You could just tell that she's a genuine soul, you know, and you know, as martial artists and as female fighters, it's a small community, and when you step into the octagon, you share a piece of yourself with that person for the rest of your life, that you can never take back. And I'm just fortunate to have shared the octagon with her. She's a very sweet person. It's funny because we're on the hotel and we're getting ready to go to the fights, and I'm like getting in the zone, and we get in my husband and I get in the elevator, and instead of it taking us down to the lobby, it took us up to the 5th floor. And when the doors opened, it was Karolina and her team
getting ready to go to the arena.
Getting ready to come in. So we just looked at them, and we started laughing, and they came in, and it was just like, what a world we live in. It was just, you know, and I mean, such an honor to be able to fight people like that.
Yeah, well, and it was cool because when the fight started, though, you guys did throw that aside. You could tell right away. There was not this feeling out process where it's like, oh, how are we going to do this? You did go right at one another. But you mentioned that there was a mental process to sort of get there. What is that mental process? How do you go about trying to get in the octagon, not letting that affect your performance?
It is flipping that switch and having an objective and not letting personal feelings get in the way of that.
Well, you've made it clear what your objective is. It is a UFC title. You think you're there? You think a title shot is next, or do you think you got one more?
I feel like if I didn't feel comfortable calling out for the gold, then I shouldn't be asking for it. So if that's what is next, then I'll be ready for it. You know, if that's what they give me. I'm confident in myself, my skills and abilities. At the end of the day, we're all just human, right? We all bleed the same blood, breathe the same air. So why not me? Last
question is Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade in May. Who do you think wins that fight?
I think Rose does. I feel like Jessica Andrade is on a tear right now. She's really confident. She's strong. She's used to going with bigger girls. But to me, Rose is a master at her range, and I think she'll be able to keep her out and pick her apart.
Congratulations on an excellent performance, Michelle.
Thank you.